I'm here. Paulina's here. Paulina actually didn't know if she was gonna make it today. Woke up this morning. We said, hey, we gotta go do the work.
I got a haircut.
You did get a haircut. It looks beautiful. You look great. What's our first topic? Actually, hold on. Time out. Before we get to the first topic, FTX is sponsoring this segment of Lunch Money. I read yesterday, Matt Levine from Bloomberg, he put together an entire write-up about FTX and their move to try to get a certain type of derivative, I'm going to call execution technology. FTX is constantly innovating. The whole idea of margin in the legacy world, according to my learning from Matt Levine, is that if I have margin and I get margin called and I'm a big institution or a big family office, the banks will call up and be like, hey, we're not actually going to call the margin or we're not going to liquidate you because we know you, we like you, we think that we should extend you some extra time, et cetera. It's all like personal relationship stuff. FTX is proposing to actually offer margin to customers and say, it's not about personal relationships. It's all should be algorithmic. Everyone should be treated the same. And so if you put up collateral and you take margin and there's a margin call and you don't cure the margin call, then you should get liquidated. And there's no playing favorites. There's no, oh, I know this person, I know that person. Oh, there's how much I might trade with this person, how much money we might make. Just make it all algorithmic. If you haven't yet, go read Matt Levine's piece on it. It's fantastic. But the key takeaway is FTX continues to innovate. Part of that innovation is they're also bringing stocks to the same application where you can go buy Bitcoin cryptocurrencies. The stocks, as we've talked about, there's no trading fees and there's no payment for order flow. No trading fees, no payment for order flow. They constantly keep saying, how do we innovate in infrastructure and in the market to provide the best value to our customers? Go download the app, FTX. You can click on the link in the description and you'll be ready to rock and roll. Now, what up, Paulina?
Oh, hey.
Let's go. Jamie Dimon.
All right. So, Jamie Dimon had some thoughts.
I agree with him.
About what? You don't even know what his thoughts are.
What did he say?
He said he warned people to brace for an economic hurricane, pointing to the Fed and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Actually, I know you have thoughts because I heard you talk about it earlier. My
general thought is that Jamie Dimon, one, is obviously incredibly intelligent. He runs one of the largest banks in the world. He's got massive amount of information at his fingertips. And what he said around like brace yourself, the reason why I agree with him is because he clearly says like nobody knows how bad this could get and nobody knows how long it could go. But it's obvious that the Federal Reserve is conducting quantitative tightening. When they do that, there's a direct inverse relationship, meaning that if they tighten, stock and other asset prices go down. They claim that they're going to continue to tighten. And so if they do that, asset prices will likely continue to go down. And so in that scenario, you should be prepared. Just go ahead and make sure you got a strong balance sheet and that you can last for a long time. I think that's great advice. And
you should do that even if there's no
correct
recession on the horizon.
Good times, bad times. You should always make sure that you got a strong balance sheet, right? Build a good business. Have personal sustainability, stability by having that strong balance sheet. Now, his thought process is it's not just the Fed, though. There's also Russia and Ukraine. He doesn't think that Europe is doing a great job and the rest of the world are preparing for high oil prices. Like there's all this complexity in the global macro environment. And his main message was, I used to say there's a storm on the horizon. Now I think there's an economic hurricane coming towards us. And the problem with hurricanes is you don't know if it's going to be a minor one or Superstorm Sandy. And so you should be prepared for the worst. And if it doesn't end up being that bad, then you're fine. And so I think that that's actually like a pretty fair way to look at the world. And frankly, having him come out and say this, there's plenty of people like, oh, they're fear mongering, whatever. He's like, look, we're going to be super conservative with our own balance sheet too. So don't even listen to what they're saying. Just watch what they're doing. So I don't even think that they're necessarily making money by doing any sort of fear mongering, right? I think that he's just saying, look, this is what we're going to do. And this is why we're going to do it. You guys make your own decisions. You're big boys and girls.
Fair.
Do you agree with him?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, but I mean, it's a very like, I could have said that.
Could you?
Obviously, it's either going to be a small recession or a big recession.
Is it going to be a recession?
Yeah.
They're claiming that there's going to be economic growth in Q2.
No.
Ooh, is that an economic prediction?
Yes.
Nice. Wow, okay.
Well, just given what's going on in the rest of the world, I don't think the U.S. is immune to any of it. In fact, I think the U.S. caused it. Okay.
Hey, for any of y'all who didn't know, Paulina's a savage.
I'm back and I'm sleep deprived.
All right, let's go. Sheryl Sandberg.
Sheryl Sandberg is stepping down from her role as COO at Meta, the company formerly known as Facebook. I saw a bunch of people joking on Twitter that it's only a matter of time before she joins a venture capital firm.
Venture capital firm. I also saw somebody say that Elon Musk poached her to Twitter.
That could be interesting.
What do you think about this? Do you
What?
like this idea?
Of what, Twitter?
No, of her
Oh.
stepping down. Like what
to
are
be,
your
to be totally honest, I literally forgot that Sheryl was still at Facebook. I thought she had moved on a long time ago.
She's been there
What
for
has she
14
done?
years.
I know, but what has she done lately?
Can I say one thing?
What?
When I worked at Facebook, I had the opportunity to work with her very briefly.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
And met her, saw her operate, etc. And I was very impressed with her ability to just drive
Yeah.
productivity. And so, as a chief operating officer, that's what you would expect. What I do think is interesting is Facebook being an ads-based business, being very kind of data-driven, a lot of the things that Facebook was famous for and still is, they're starting to change some of this. Now it's like Meta. Now it's like, oh, we're going to the metaverse. Like, it's not so much the same business. And so I do wonder, like, how much is she sitting there saying, like, is my skill set actually good to apply here? I don't know. Also, 14 years, like, you've been somewhere
Yeah.
for a decade and a half. Like, you just
fact
may
that
want to do other
Paulina
things.
forgot you were still there. That's a bar.
That's true. And then the last thing I would say is she's dealt with a lot of personal tragedy as well. Her husband unfortunately passed away in a freak accident. It's just I don't think that like this is like some crazy thing. And I don't necessarily know if I believe any of the conspiracy theories, except if she did go run Twitter, that would be wild.
That would be so interesting.
That'd be wild. All right, next. Speaking of.
Elon Musk has trashed remote work. He said Tesla employees should pretend to work somewhere else if they're not willing to return to their offices.
What do you think?
I mean, what? Anyone who wishes to do remote work must be in the office for a minimum, and I mean minimum, of 40 hours per week or depart Tesla. This is less than we ask of factory workers. I mean...
Do you agree with him?
So in terms of Tesla, maybe. In terms of Twitter or anything else, no. But also, isn't he kind of running remote companies?
Why?
He's got like SpaceX, Tesla, all the other all of the other companies.
Here's my read.
What?
One, you can't build a rocket virtually.
That's what I was gonna say.
You
But
can't
no,
build
this
a
is
car
Tesla.
virtually, right? That's first. But even more importantly, if you guys sit down and you really think to yourself, really think to yourself, are you more productive working at home or working in the office? You are a liar, and you're lying to yourself if you think that you're more productive at home than you are in the office. Because you may say to yourself, I enjoy the work more. I think that I end up actually working, quote unquote, more hours because there's not as much of a difference between home and work or whatever. But my guess is that as a unit, when you bring all these people together, there's drastically more productivity. I've seen multiple people talking about it saying, hey, when we were out of office, we brought them back into office, bam, all our metrics go up. And so now you're starting to see more and more investors talk about this, entrepreneurs, et cetera, get your ass back in the office. Now, the one thing that I will say is it depends on the mission. If you're simply going to a place to optimize some ads and get some clicks, like, bro, get out. Just get out of there. Get out of there. Go work on something that's fulfilling, that actually you feel excited to go to work. Because the companies that are working on the hard problems, those types of things, there's people who wake up, can't wait to get into the office and actually get to work because they feel like there's meaning behind the work. And so what I think you're going to start to see is you're going to see this bifurcation of the people working on the hard problems. They're going to keep getting people in the office. They're going to keep having productivity. And it all is related to not only in person, but also the mission, the way that the company operates, et cetera. The second thing is that the companies who aren't working on hard problems, the companies that are just bullshitting and trying to drive ad revenue by clicks and et cetera, people are like, oh, bro, it doesn't matter. I got my computer. I worked 4 hours anyways. Whether I do it in the office or at home, who cares?
Like Tesla's social media manager probably doesn't need to be.
I worked at Facebook. Listen, I tell people all the time, me and one of my friends who will go unnamed, we used to put a meeting on our calendar, and for an hour every afternoon we go to the gym. Like, by the way, we got our work done. It's just like there's only so much work to do when you work at a company with 12,000 employees by the time I left.
Somebody in the comments, I think this was meant maliciously, but I think it's funny. They said you haven't had a job since you were in the military and Facebook doesn't count.
I mean, okay, sure. We were only one of the most valuable companies in the world.
He works more than anybody I know.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
All right, but that was a malicious comment. That was your working too much. But the other thing I'll say is I love reading the communications like this. Like that was supposed to be a private email. Who knows who leaked it? Elon Musk is savage. There's no fluff. There's no anything. Hey, get your ass in the office. If you're not in the office, go work somewhere else. And guess what? A+ players, they're like, that's where I want to work.
There you go. Ready?
It's true.
Speaking of Elon Musk, his ex, Amber Heard,
What a transition.
had a trial with her other ex,
What a transition.
Johnny Depp.
That was expert.
And Johnny Depp won his defamation case against her, and a jury has awarded him $15 million.
Can you tell us what the defamation situation
somebody
was?
in the comments I saw said, why the hell is Johnny Depp on the topic list? It's not important in my opinion. I put it on the list not because of the sensational significance, but because as somebody who majored in journalism, this will be in the history books for the end of time.
What was the situation though? What did she say or did?
She's saying that he's a sexual predator, etc., and he's saying that.
Oh, she came out after they broke up and said all this, and then he was like, "Oh, cool, I'm gonna sue you."
He said that was defamation. Defamation cases are really, really hard to win because you have to prove actual malice was involved. And
I'm pretty sure if you say that, then there's malice.
Well,
and the jury agrees with me.
Well, and also it's even harder if you're a public figure because like we're allowed to say whatever we want about Jamie Dimon, whatever, but like because they're a public figure, it raises the whatever.
Raises the bar.
Defamation is just really hard, and the fact that he won this is insane.
Hey, you know why, right?
Why?
And don't fuck with Jack Sparrow.
That's not why. But
no, that's why he was 100%. I don't care what anyone says. When you have a jury trial and you have somebody who is like, oh, the Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever, you can try to filter out all you want.
He's a weird dude. But
you can try to filter out all you want for bias, etc. Like you just have two people there, and look at the memes on the internet. The sentiment was 100% for Johnny Depp in culture for literally weeks. You think the jury wasn't affected by that?
Wow.
Humans are humans. I don't care what anybody says. That's the bad part of human-driven jury trials.
Okay.
I don't think that anyone can be 100% non-biased in a jury trial if they know somebody who is in the trial.
Do we need robot-driven jury trials?
No, I don't think that there's a better solution. I'm just saying that I also don't think that it is what people claim it is. Like, oh, everyone's unbiased. It's the same thing like journalists. Journalists are like, oh, well, I'm unbiased. Like, no, you're not. No, it's impossible for you to be unbiased. You're a human.
There's always bias, but that's why the lawyers go through their little veto thing before.
Yeah, I got the game. I understand.
So she's also getting $2 million in
She is?
compensatory damages. Yeah, because apparently he kind of like defamed her in some way. I don't know. It's a whole thing.
I just like that he stunned on her at the end. I read on the internet yesterday. I saw a tweet. They said this dude's been in court the whole time, and then the day they read the verdict, he was in a pub in the UK.
Yeah, he's wild. There's a really good profile on him. I think in GQ or Esquire, but. He's a weird guy, but that doesn't mean just because you're weird that you're a sexual predator. Like, I don't know. I think it was crazy. Okay. I
also think there's a lot of men right now. You know, you guys ever seen the meme on the internet? City boys.
Stop yourself.
City boys rise up.
Whatever you're about to
City
say.
boys rise up.
What does that mean?
Trust me, you don't want to know.
I don't.
City boys rise up is because all of a sudden. A lot of men sitting there saying, hey, wait a minute, my ex been saying all kinds of wild ass shit about me.
That you probably won't win a defamation trial.
They may not do it, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of men, I know some of them are sitting there being like,
just.
You telling me I can get $15 million?
No, you can't. That's what I'm here to tell you. You cannot.
Look at this text message my friend sent me that my ex-wife said.
All right, ready? So the education department said it would wipe out the debt of 560,000 borrowers who had enrolled. Wait, but this actually makes sense. Who had enrolled in the for-profit college chain called Carnathian Colleges, which collapsed in 2015. I think that's fine because they paid for some sort of like fraud.
No. You know what this is? This is a way to cancel student debt without getting the blowback of canceling student debt.
This is the largest student loan forgiveness action ever.
This is dumb.
Okay, why is it dumb?
It's a market.
But but the college engaged in wholesale financial exploitation of students, misleading them into taking more and more debt to pay for promises they would never keep. I'm okay with this. You got led into a scam, and you got scammed.
So why should somebody else pay because you're dumb enough to get scammed?
No, you're not.
Yes, if you forgive student debt, somebody else somewhere is paying for it. The debt doesn't.
Who's paying?
The debt doesn't. It's not like the debt's written on a chalkboard and they just go over and they erase the debt. No, what happens is they say, okay, there's $5.8 billion of debt, meaning one person owes $5.8 billion. A combination of individuals own $5.8 billion to somebody else. Whether that's the government, well, that means I'm paying for the loan forgiveness. That means you're paying. That means everyone watching's paying for it. Or if it's a private company, if it's a nonprofit, somebody somewhere has to pay when the debt gets forgiven. There is ramifications to it. And so this whole idea of like, oh, we just wipe the debt away and it just disappears and then we all hold hands and sing Kumbaya around the fireplace. Like, that's not what happens. And so the way that they're going to start to do this, now I see the playbook. Like, I got it, like a little Jack Sparrow. I know exactly what they're going to do now. They're going to start looking for more situations like this, and they're going to start trying to relieve student debt in situations that seem less controversial.
Yeah.
Still, don't get fooled. Don't get fooled. It's still student loan forgiveness, which means that they're intervening in the market. When you intervene in the market, it means that you throw off the free market dynamics. When you do that, you actually cause more problems, which, newsflash, there's $1.5 trillion of student debt. Why? Because the government literally guaranteed that they were going to pay it. If you were a college and you knew the government was going to pay your bills, what would I do? I'd jack the shit up out of the prices.
That's true.
And when I do it, the line gets longer and the government will still pay. Woo-wee!
All right.
Monopoly.
It's Ask Lunch Money time.
What you
Fred L asks, which will happen first? Johnny Depp is broke again? Oh yeah, he was. Or the government forgives another student loan debt program.
Johnny Depp was broke?
It's not Depp. It's not Johnny Depp. It's
I can say his name however I want.
And
nobody can pronounce my last name, so I have the right to pronounce anybody else's last name wrong.
Johnny Depp. Okay.
Johnny Depp, Johnny D, whatever.
So Johnny Depp was in really...
Johnny D sounds like he should be on, was it Jersey Shore?
He was in a really
Jim
bad
Tan
financial
Laundry.
spot. Yeah, he was...
Did he file for bankruptcy?
Oh, wait, hold on. Did he? I think he was just in really bad... He said he was broke.
Johnny D was drunk in a UK pub yesterday when he got $15 million from his
Let me see what his net
wife
worth
or girlfriend who was talking shit to him.
Hold on. All right. Well, we don't know. But he was in one time he said, I am broke. I don't know what that
All right. So he was in a bad financial position. I definitely think that the student loan forgiveness.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Same. Well, but Johnny Depp doesn't have...
Oh, Depp?
I know. I'm saying it now.
I don't think that he's going to go broke again.
That's good. You're just saying that because you don't want to get sued for defamation.
No, I'm just saying that I think that people who have gone broke in the past, people who have gone broke in the past, learn from their mistakes usually, because that is such like a slap in the face. Like, dude, you were real rich and then you were not very rich, and now you get money again.
We'll see.
Unless he's a degenerate gambler, then he might blow tomorrow.
So this is not on the topic list, but I figured I would have a little riddle. So our flight yesterday was 12 hours from Istanbul to Miami. It was so long. What do you think is the longest flight currently on the planet? Which airline, where, and how long?
18 hours, U.S. to Asia.
Where in Asia?
Maybe Japan.
It's JFK to Singapore.
Ooh.
And it is 18 hours and 50 minutes. But 50 minutes, almost 19 hours.
I mean, there's 24 hours that I could have chose. Actually, I could have chosen more than 24 hours, and I got 18 as 1850. I mean, if you just drop the minutes and you say how many hours.
Wait, have you been on this flight? Because you've gone from JFK to Singapore.
I wasn't going to say that, but.
No, but you haven't been on this flight.
Both the flight from New York to Japan and New York to Singapore, both are like very long. 18, 16, 20, whatever.
That's crazy.
All right, love you. Thank you. Bye. See ya.
That was a bad. Thank you.
Wait, do it one more time. Hey you, did you like this video? Great, we make 5 of them a day and post them here on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed, like the video, and see you next time.